experience of watching these other Alien movies over the weekend, I revisited everything, is that it gets more and more boring and less. They're not even scary anymore. The xenomorphs aren't scary.
Yeah, I wasn't scared at all.
And I love. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Were you done? Okay. I was gonna say, like, I love world building universes. Obviously, I love delicious lore, but when it comes to this franchise, just like to go off what y'all were saying, is it's best. This franchise in particular is best when it's steeped in mystery and the unknown, and
100%.
just the fact that it was inspired by H.R. Giger's art and the feelings that invoked looking at those images, and they kind of just built that original movie all around that.
Yes.
And the space jockey scene's probably the best scene, I think, because it's just your imagination runs wild, and it's such an important part of that movie, that the ideas that it invokes and humanity's vulnerability and entering and just unpreparedness and entering the grim, dark environment that is space, like that just sets the tone and the atmosphere so well. It is such a crucial part of this universe, and the more you explain it, it just takes away the majesty and the mystery. So it's kind of unfortunate that we're at this point with this franchise. It started out so amazing with these grand ideas and mysteries. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, the best sequels are the further adventures of versus where did we come from or what was the lore behind it. We want to see our favorite heroes, and we want to see their adventure continued, not explained in depth from their past.
And also, by the way, Nerd Cookies, I love what you said. One of the things about it's underlying, but the idea that if God created the universe and God created humanity, why did God create the aliens? Why do the xenomorphs exist? And so xenomorphs are antithetical to our existence. So then how is it that the creator of all things could have done both of these things? And in a way, I'm not a religious person, but when you talk about storytelling and the idea of Prometheus and stealing fire from the gods and all of that, that's part of humanity's existence. So from a literary standpoint and metaphor and all that, you can ask yourself, how can something like this exist that is so anti-human life? What does that mean about it? Where does humanity's place in the universe? Where are we knowing that a universe has a xenomorph in it too? What does that mean to our existence? And what is that? And so it makes us question, those existential questions. Why are we here? But if xenomorphs exist, maybe we're not supposed to be here. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And that's definitely part of these films as well. That's part of H.R. Giger's work. His work is making us confront our own physical existence by looking at you look at the biomechanics stuff he did, and that's all part of this franchise. And that's why it's always been this great pantheon of works. Even Alien 3, you watch the assembly cut, it's essentially you're going to hell. You're dealing with the worst of humanity. The convicts, they're on a prison planet, Fiorina, and it's like the worst place in the world to be. These are the people that are looking the most for salvation from what they've done. They are human monsters, and they have to confront a monster that's more monstrous than they are. And these are really, I know they're subtextual things, and maybe I'm going off into academia land by talking this way, but that's what kept this franchise so interesting and vibrant. And now all of that's gone.
Well, maybe it's an allegory also to population control. Like, we have hunting season for a reason in various countries to make sure that certain animals don't outbreed us and, screw up our ecology. Perhaps the xenomorphs could also be explored in that regard, where if humanity's expanding out beyond their own solar system, maybe their expansion could compromise the integrity of other solar systems. And that's why something like a xenomorph was created. I mean, those are all good things to explore. Yet, unfortunately, the Alien franchise has never tapped into that. And even in their attempts to do that with Prometheus, it's all over the place. Like, it just feels like it's narratively lost.
And basically, for me, ultimately, it's not... This franchise is going as far as it can go. And it went there after Resurrection, if we're going to be honest, right?
100%.
So, and that's why I enjoyed this film. Because honestly, I sat there and watched it exactly like I'd watch a slasher movie. Like I was watching Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched it exactly like that. I was there to see aliens kill a bunch of dumb young people.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I felt like it was just a roller coaster ride, and literally, it is a roller coaster ride. It's just a thrill, a moment. You're not going to get much. It's French fries, considering what the other movies have been. But it was just meant to be fun, which is a sad state of where Hollywood is now, where it just seems like they're just flashing fun images in front of us, exciting, energetic images in front of us.
And to be fair, Fede did try. I mean, as far as like, I mean, the guy is a competent director.
He's great.
Okay, yeah. He's good at what he does. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's on the Zack Snyder end of things, where he's a better cinematographer than he is a writer for sure. But like I said, at least the look of the film felt right, and the aliens looked right, and it at least had a good pace to it for me. So it had more pluses than negatives, but the negatives are blatantly there. Okay, like it's like I said, that third act is hard to get past that. How stupid it was.
I agree.
I know. I just wish there was more finesse and artistry brought back to this franchise as a whole, or even using the word franchise for this IP. I don't know, doesn't feel right, because the original film didn't evoke that it would someday become this huge franchise, but it was more like this art piece, or this it was much more artistic and its themes and ideas. So the fact that it's turned into this is kind of like sad in that degree. It's much more commercial, which is kind of ironic, I guess, considering the subject matter a lot of times. But yeah, I feel like the more they try to do, I was fine with this just being a standalone film, that unconnected to anything. Really, when it comes to lore, I think all you really needed was the xenomorph life cycle. I think it was brilliant how James Cameron added to that in a really cool way with the Queen, and just presenting the horde, the alien horde, was so cool. But I think that's really the characters were driving it, and that, which is what I appreciated for Aliens, which is another reason why it's my favorite. Well, and I think that's what he should have done. Focus on the characters and the scenario. That can be original to you, and you can really make your mark on what you would like to say in this universe. But it really, it's unfortunate that it turned into this greatest hits, like y'all were saying. But y'all would know more than me.
Well, this franchise jumped the shark with Alien versus Predator. Okay, I mean, we knew it was done after that. There was nowhere to go after Alien versus Predator. Okay, that's where we're getting into Freddy versus Jason territory here. It's like, okay, we're done.
Is that where it went wrong with the studios, do y'all think? Because James Cameron initially was going to do another film. I thought I read that somewhere. And then when Alien versus Predator, they greenlit that, then he kind of was like, okay, I'm done. If that's where you're going with this, then I'm done. So that's when he left.
I was going to say, but the first Alien movie, it launched a career. Sigourney Weaver's career, and it all had to do with the character that was written and the actress who portrayed that character. When has the Alien franchise done that? Is Kaylee Spania now an action star?
It also launched Ridley Scott's career, even though he'd made The Duelists before that.
Yeah,
it would solidify his career. But the other part too is I feel that Alien mixed with also Blade Runner kind of made Ridley Scott become far more arrogant as a filmmaker than a passionate one. And we've seen that in a lot of his movies ever since. Like they just don't always hit the mark. Like sometimes they'll do a Gladiator, which has its high points to it, but then it also has its low points. And then when he goes back to the well with Alien, Prometheus, and unfortunately this upcoming Gladiator looks terrible as well. I just don't think he's got the humility that's required when it comes to being conscientious about the story you're trying to tell.
Like I said, man, I stand by my statement that Tony Scott was the better director. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. I do get a lot of shit for that, but you know what? Tony Scott was the better director for me. Movie for movie, pound for pound, I think Tony Scott was the better director.
Yeah, but once you think you're great, it's hard to come down a notch or two to reality.
Well, is it possible for us to rank these movies? I think if we're going to rank all the Alien films, you have to start with, no one's going to debate Alien and Aliens are the two best. Right. Yes.
Correct.
Which is the better of the two?
For me, Aliens. I know Aliens the classic, but man, I love Aliens.
Like, I prefer Aliens.
It's in my DNA. Yeah. I love that movie so much.
It has it all. It has the action, it has the story, it has the great characters.
They're two different movies, obligatory. They're two different genres. One's a scary, but one's an action.
Like, I could watch Aliens anytime, you know, and I can watch Alien anytime as well, but Aliens just, I mean, it just hits, man. It hits on all levels. I mean, what James Cameron did is probably never going to be outdone, at least in this franchise. So, you know, I love it, man. It's phenomenal.
Okay. Alan, would you keep track? But I'm going to go different. I think Alien is the better movie. I think Alien is the better film than Aliens. That's my thought. So it's 3-1. Alan,
I've only seen the first one, and I think it is definitely the best of the two.
You've only seen Alien?
I've only seen Alien, yeah.
What?
That's insane.
You've never seen
Aliens? I'm just not a horror guy. Sorry.
I know Rob has no,
but Aliens isn't horror.
Well, Alien is the
horror. Aliens really isn't horror at all.
Yeah. Look, I was born when the movie came out. It was scary. I saw another trailer.
My co-host, who's 30, to not have seen it. You haven't seen Aliens? Please go watch that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have homework, Alan.
It's not so much horror as it is more sci-fi action thriller.
Yeah. Sci-fi action thriller. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aliens.
Okay, so
Rob, where do you
stand? Alien for
I got Chris, Dante, and Badger. I don't know how everyone else has voted.
Rob, where are you?
Alien is the pinnacle. Aliens and the assembly cut of Alien 3 for me.
Mm.
And then I would have to say this. While I think it's dunderheaded and not as nearly as good as it should be, I think that Prometheus is probably my only because it's so interesting. And I have to say, when I was a kid, I read Chariots of the Gods. I saw that movie, the Sun Classic picture, The Outer Space Connection. I have always loved the idea of ancient astronauts. And if you read John Spate's Alien Engineer script, you'll lament for the day that we'll never see, where they could have just made his script rather than hired Damon Lindelof, who came in and ruined it. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. And the other films, I could take or leave. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I am going to say this. I think Alien Resurrection is 2/3 of a great movie.
There's a lot of good stuff in it.
It has one of my favorite actors in it, Michael Wincott. He didn't last very long, unfortunately. But I have a love for Alien Resurrection, but I acknowledge that it wasn't a great film.
But dude, anything Michael Wincott is in deserves.
Oh, anything, man. The voice. That guy could play anything, man. He's
anything.
Any villain, you cast that guy.
He's the greatest.
I guess the big question is, where does Alien Romulus fit? And I'm with you, Rob. Prometheus, I watched it. I've seen that movie many times.
It's beautiful. It's so well made.
It is. And it's not perfect. That issues with
the characters in it are so dumb.
Right.
I mean, you have all scientists. We're the best of the best. And we're the stupidest people that ever existed.
Here, let me hand you a glass of vodka. I'm not going to put a little thing in there you to drink. But,
hey, there's an alien creature I've never seen before. Let me grab a hold of it.
Right.
Hey, what is this?
Let's take our helmets.
And hold it 5 inches from my face. Yeah, no.
I mean, and I watch this stuff, and it's just so. How do smart people do this? I have to say, with Alien Romulus, I almost wanted to walk out. First of all, I prefer the term artificial person myself, and then the get away from her, you bitch. Yes. I'm like, first of all, what you are doing, those belong to somebody else. You didn't write those lines, and they're not like catchphrases like I'm getting too old for this shit, or I have a bad feeling about this that have been repeated or whatever. You are breaking your fourth wall. The reality you're creating for your own movie has now shattered multiple times when you do this, and you've now put a movie that's supposed to take place before Aliens, and you have now name-checked one of the greatest moments in action adventure science fiction cinema ever. When the door opens,
man.
she comes out. That scene is one of the most earned, yes, total crowd-pleasing popcorn moments, and it's all set up from the beginning, and maybe it's a little, you know, a little common. I don't care. When she walks out and says, "Get away from her, you bitch." 1986, 2024, it still works. And those MFers took that line and tried to co-opt it.
That belonged to Ripley.
That to me should have been something that was on the, I mean, seriously.
Give us the finger.
I'm spewing. It's like, okay, the fact that our Fede Alvarez, Disney, everybody, the fact that you took get away from her, you bitch, set it in a time before that movie takes place. Here's the thing. I mean, seriously, that is not for you to take. That you didn't write it, you didn't come up with it, you stole it, and what you did was you compromised your own vision by bogarting someone else's vision that has existed in cinema history for almost 40 years. And I love Fede Alvarez. I love Don't Breathe, an original film.
Yeah.
But you compromised. Disney compromised their work. Fede Alvarez compromised their work. All the filmmakers that did all this great work on Alien Romulus, you ruined your movie. I know it's hyperbolic to say, but what you did was you shattered your own reality, and you took something, you stole something from someone else that didn't belong to you. And this is the problem with corporate thinking. This is the problem with our filmmaking today. Let's steal other people's stuff. Oh, we own it. Yeah, we do own it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that compromised your entire movie. And I ask you, why?
Rob, to be fair, I think that was Ridley's idea to do that. I don't think that was Fede's.
So Ridley stole from James Cameron.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but I mean, right. But I think that was Ridley Scott's idea. Like, I feel like Ridley Scott put a lot of input into this movie, man. Because you can't tell me that third act was not Ridley Scott.
Oh,
it was Ridley Scott all over that last act.
But you know what's interesting about Aliens? Aliens is also an indictment of corporate culture. One of the main characters, I mean, that whole movie and the inception, if this is an apocryphal story or not, apparently when James Cameron was going in, he'd made Terminator, he was going into Fox, and to pitch his movie, he was in a room with executives, and there was a whiteboard, a chalkboard, whatever, and he wrote the word alien on the chalkboard, and then he wrote an S next to it and put the 2 slashes to make the S a dollar sign. And that's what sold the movie. And the movie itself, it takes corporate culture. You could say that Aliens is a total indictment of Disney. Carter Burke might as well be Bob Iger.
What does Ripley say? I don't know which species is worse. You don't see them screwing each other over for percentage.
100%.
Great line. Great line.
And Cameron knew. And that whole corporate malfeasance is a part of his work all the way through Avatar. So it's hilarious that Disney owns both Alien and Avatar.